जो सिरफिरे होते हैं इतिहास वही लिखते हैं, समझदार लोग तो बस उनके बारे में पढ़ते हैं. Welcome to Study IS. My name is Aditi Sharma and I am your faculty for Environment and Ecology for UPSC CSE Prelims and Mains Examination. Now today is lecture number 4 and we're gonna study about terrestrial ecosystem. So let's get into the topic, guys. So now, the interrelations between organism and environment on the land constitute terrestrial ecology. And due to variation in the topographic features of valleys, mountains, and slopes, certain differences occur. So these differences are reflected in both the material and biotic diversities. So altitudinal and latitudinal variation cause shifts and differences in the climatic patterns. So due to varied climate, the plant and the animal life existing in different terrestrial areas which result in differentiation of ecosystem as segments within the large biosphere. So the most limiting factors of terrestrial ecosystems are moisture and temperature. Now see this. The terrestrial part of biosphere is divisible into enormous regions called biomes. So no two biomes are alike. They are categorized by distinct climate, precipitation, and temperature mainly. So vegetation, animal life, and general soil type. So the climate determines the boundaries of a biome and abundance of plants, animals found in each one of them. Now see this. There are some kind of biomes. Rainforest, taiga, temperate deciduous forest, grassland, desert, tundra. Now moving forward to tundra. The tundra biome is a cold and treeless plain where the harsh conditions make it hard for plants and animals alike to survive. So around 20% of the earth's land surface is covered with tundra. So first thing, that it's cold, because the tundra is coldest of the biomes and the average temperature over here is around minus 18 degree Fahrenheit. It gets much colder in winter and warmer during its short summer. So it's dry because the tundra gets about as much precipitation as the average desert, around 10 inches per year. So most of this is snow. Permafrost. Now below the topsoil, the ground is permanently frozen for years. It's barren also because the tundra has few nutrients to support plant and animal life. It has a short growing season and slow rate of decay. So there are two types of tundra. One is the alpine one and the other one is Arctic tundra. So what is the alpine tundra? So the alpine tundra is the area of land high in the mountains above the tree line. And Arctic tundra is located far north in the northern hemisphere along the Arctic Circle. So now there are large areas of tundra in Northern America and Northern Europe and Northern Asia. So the tundra has two distinct seasons. One is a long winter and second a short summer. So being so far north, the tundra has long nights in the winter and long days in the summer. So the winter lasts around 8 months and is extremely cold. So in the middle winter, the sun may not rise for weeks and the tundra is frozen and often covered with snow during the winter and will reach the temperature of minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So the summer is shorter and is marked by the other extremes of the sun not setting. So in the middle of summer, the sun will be up for 24 hours and during the summer, the temperature may reach 50 degrees Fahrenheit, causing the snow to melt. So now, what is a permafrost? So permafrost is a layer of ground below the topsoil that remains frozen throughout the year and this layer is generally only a few feet below the surface. So a permafrost trees need to have so a permafrost prevents trees from growing in tundra because trees need to have deep roots and they can't grow in the frozen ground. So what are the plants which grow in tundra? So the plants that grow in tundra include grasses, shrubs, herbs and lichens. So they grow in groups and stay low to the ground to stay protected from the icy winds. So they tend to have shallow roots and flower quickly during the short summer months. So most of the plants in tundra are perennials that come back each year from the same root. So this allows them to grow during the summer and save up nutrients. So as they lay dormant for the winter, they also tend to have hairy stems and dark leaves. So this helps them to absorb energy from the sun. So now animals which are there in tundra. So the tundra has a lot more animals activity during the summer than the winter, and there are some animals that have adapted to winter in the tundra. So some of them change coats from brown in the summer to white in the winter so that they can blend into the snow. So these include the Arctic hare, the Arctic fox, other animals that are active in the winter during the winter season. So they are the snowy owl, musk, oxen and ptarmigan. So here are some facts about tundra. So the word tundra comes from a Finnish word tunturi, which means treeless, plain or barren land. So the tundra is a very fragile biome that is shrinking as the permafrost melts. So lemmings are small mammals that burrow under the snow to eat grasses and moss during the winter. Polar bears come to tundra for summer where they have their babies, and animals in tundra tend to have small ears and tails, so this helps them to lose less heat in the cold. So they also tend to have large feet, which helps them to walk on the top of the snow. So plants that grow in tight groups to protect themselves from the cold are sometimes called the cushion plants. So now let's move forward to the taiga forest. Now what is a taiga forest? So this is one of the three main forest biomes. The other two are the temperate forest and the tropical rainforest. So the taiga is the driest and the coldest of three, and the taiga is sometimes called the boreal forest or the coniferous forest. It is the largest of all land biomes. Now, what makes a forest a taiga forest? So first thing, this forest is covered with evergreen or coniferous trees. So these trees are they don't drop their leaves and they keep their leaves so they can soak up as much sunlight for as long as possible. So the dark green color of the leaves are also helps them to soak up more sun and gain more energy through photosynthesis. Now the taiga has the coldest weather, and winters can get as cold as minus 60 degree Fahrenheit. So winters can last for 6 months with the temperature averaging below freezing, and summers are warmer but very short. So the precipitation is only slightly more than the desert or the tundra. So the average precipitation is between 12 to 30 inches per year. So it falls as rain in the summer and snow in the winter. So this soil layer over here is very thin. Reason because the leaves don't fall from the trees. So like in the temperate forest, the layer of good soil is very thin, and also the cold weather causes a slow rate of decaying, and which is taking a lot of time for nutrients to get back into the soil. So now there is a short growing season because with a long winter and short summer, the plants don't have a lot of time to grow in taiga. So the growing season only lasts for around 3 months. So this compares to at least 6 months in the temperate forest and a year-round growing season in the rainforest. Now, where could you find these taiga forests in the world? So these forests are located in the far north, typically between the temperate forest biome and the tundra biome. So on the globe, this is between 50 degrees latitude north and the Arctic Circle. So the largest taiga forests cover much of the northern Russia and Siberia. Other major taiga forests include North America, Canada and Alaska, and Finland, Norway, and Sweden. So plants of taiga. So the dominant plant in the taiga is a coniferous evergreen tree, and these trees include spruce, pine, cedar, and fir trees. So they grew close together, forming a canopy over the land and like an umbrella. So they form like an umbrella, and this canopy soaks up the sun and only lets a little bit of sunlight through the ground. So now the conifers of taiga produce their seeds in cones, and they also have needles for leaves. So needles are good at holding in water and surviving the harsh cold winters. Harsh cold winds. So the trees also grow in a cone shape. So this helps the snow to slide off their branches. So now under the canopy of the tree, few other plants grow in some moist areas. So these plants are ferns, sedges, mosses, and berries will also grow. So now what animals are found in taiga? So animals of taiga must be able to survive the cold winters. So some animals are like bird, which migrate to the south for the winter, and insect lays eggs that can survive the winter and then die. Other animals like squirrels store up the food for the winter, while others hibernate by going into a long deep sleep. Now, predators of this biome include lynx, wolverines, cooper hawk, and wolves, and other animals include moose, snowshoe hare, deer, bears, chipmunks, bats, and woodpeckers. So animals that live here have certain characteristics that help them to survive. So they generally have a thick fur or feathers to keep them warm, and many animals have sharp claws and are good at climbing trees, and they have large feet to allow them to walk on the snow without sinking. So many of them change colors from white fur in the winter to help them hide in the snow, and brown fur in the summer to hide them in the trees. So there are some fact about taiga biome. So first thing, taiga is a Russian word which means forest, and many years ago the taiga was covered with icy glaciers, and the occasional wildfire is good for taiga as it opens up the area for new growth. The areas have adapted to fires by growing tough bark, so this will help some of them to survive a mild fire. So many of the forest plants are perennials that come back each summer after laying dormant for the winter. So these forests are endangered and shrinking due to lodging. Now let's move forward to the temperate forest. Now what are the temperate forest? So all forests have lots of trees, and but they are different types of forest, so they are often described as different biomes. So one of the main differences is where they are located in relation to the equator and the poles. So there are the three main types of forest biomes: the rainforest, the temperate, and the taiga, which we have read abhi थोड़ी देर पहले. So rainforests are located in the tropics near the equator. So taiga forests are located for north. Temperate rainforests are located in between. So now, what makes a forest a temperate forest? Now, First thing, temperature means no two extremes or in moderation. So in this case, temperate is referring to the temperature. It never gets really hot like in the rainforest, or it's really cold like in taiga. So in temperate forest, the temperature is generally between minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit and 90 degree Fahrenheit. So there are four distinct seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. And each season is about the same length of time. So, with only a 3-month winter, plants have a long growing season. So, there is lot of rain throughout the year, usually between 30 and 60 inches of rain. So, it has a very fertile soil because rotted leaves and other decaying matter provide a rich, deep soil that is good for trees to grow. So now, broad-leaved. So these forests are made up of broad-leaved trees such as oak, maple, elm, walnut, chestnut, and hickory trees. So these trees have big leaves that change their color in the fall, and mixed coniferous and broad-leaved ones are. These forests have a. Where are the major temperate forests located around the world? So, the first place is eastern. Where are the major temperate forests of the world located? First, eastern North America. Second, Europe. Third, eastern China. Fourth, Japan. Southeast Australia and New Zealand. So now, plants of temperate forest. The plants of temperate forest grow in different layers. The top layer is called the canopy and is made up of full-grown trees. So these trees form an umbrella throughout most of the year, providing shade for the layers below the. So the middle layer is called the understory. The understory is made up of smaller trees, saplings, and shrubs. So the lowest layer is the forest floor, which is made up of wild flowers, herbs, ferns, mushrooms, and mosses. So the plant grow here have some things in common. The first thing, they lose their leaves because many of the trees that grow here are deciduous trees, meaning they lose their leaves during the winter, and there are a few evergreen trees as well that keep their leaves for the winter. Now, many trees use sap to help them through the winter. Now, it keeps their roots from freezing and is then used as energy in the spring to start growing again. So now, what kind of animals found over here? So there are a wide variety of animals that live here, including black bears, mountain lions, deer, fox, squirrels, skunks, rabbit, porcupines, timber, wolves, and a number of birds. So some animals are predators like mountain lions and hawks. Many animals survive off the nuts from many trees like squirrels and turkeys. So each species of animals has adapted to survive the winter. So they remain active because some animals stay active during the winter. They are rabbit, squirrel, fox, and deer, which all stay active. So some are just good at finding food, while others like squirrels store up and hide food during the fall, and they can eat during the winter. So they migrate also because some animals like birds migrate to a warmer place for the winter and then return home coming springtime. So now they hibernate also. So some animals over here hibernate or rest during the winter. So they basically sleep for the winter and live off their fat stored in their body. And many insects can't survive the winter, but they can lay eggs. So now there are some facts about the temperate forest biome. So first thing, so many animals have a sharp claws to climb trees such as squirrels, opossum and raccoons, and much of the forest in Western Europe are grown due to overdevelopment. So unfortunately, the ones in Eastern Europe are now dying from the acid rain. And a single oak tree over here can produce 90,000 of acorns in 1 year. So tree use birds acorns, and even the wind to spread their seed throughout the forest. Now, the deciduous is a Latin word that means to fall off, and there were no ground living mammals in the New Zealand forest until people arrived, but there were lots of varieties of birds. Now, the black bears will put on a 5-inch layer of fat before going to sleep for the winter. So, they are one of the most fascinating biomes on the planet Earth, and it is filled with tall trees, interesting plants, giant insects, and all sorts of animals. So now, as you may, as you might have guessed from the name, rainforest are forests that get a lot of rain. Tropical rainforests are located in the tropics near the equator. So most rainforests get at least 75 inches of rain, with many getting well over 100 inches in areas. So rainforests are also very humid and warm because they are close to the equator. The temperature stays 70 and 90 Fahrenheit for most of the year. Now, where are these tropical rainforests found in the whole world? So, they are found in Africa, Southeast Asia, South America. So now, biodiversity over here. So the tropical rainforest has the most biodiversity of all the land biomes, despite only covering 6% of the Earth's surface. So scientists have also estimated that around half of the planet's animal and plant species live in the world's rainforest. Now the rainforest can be divided up to into 3 layers, and the canopy, the understory, and the forest floor. So let's start with the canopy. So the canopy is the top layer of the trees. So these trees are usually at least 100 feet tall, and their branches and leaves form an umbrella over the rest of the layers. So most of the plants and animals live on this layer. This includes monkey, birds, insects, reptiles, and all of sorts. Now some animals can live their entire lives without leaving the canopy to touch the ground. So this layer is the loudest layer, with the animals making lots of noise. So now the understory. So this is beneath the canopy, and this layer is made up of some shorter trees and shrubs, but mostly the trunks and branches of the canopy trees. So this layer is the home to some of the larger predators like snakes and leopards. It is also home to owls, bats, insects, frogs, iguanas, and various other animals. So now the forest floor. Because of the thickness of canopy, very little sunlight makes it to forest floor, and this layer is home to lots of insects, spiders, and there are some animals that live on this layer, including deer, pigs, and snakes. So this layer is quietest layer, as animals sneak around in the dark making little noise. So the rainforests are important to the world for many reasons. One reason is that they act as the Earth's lungs by producing around 40% of the world's oxygen. Since all of us need oxygen to live, that reason ranks pretty high. And the rainforest also provide a number of important drugs to help sick people and cure disease. So it is believed by many that there are even cures for cancer waiting for us to discover in the rainforest. So the rainforest is also home to many species of animals and is a beautiful and irreplaceable part of nature. Now, what are the disappearing rainforest? Now, unfortunately, human development is killing off much of world's rainforest. So around 40% of the world's rainforest have already been lost. So environmentalists are doing what they can do to help countries preserve this vital biome. Now, there are some few facts about tropical rainforest. So surprisingly, the soil in a rainforest is shallow and has little nutrients. And in the Amazon rainforest, there are over 2,000 species of butterflies. and they are home to interesting flying animals such as squirrels, snakes, and frogs. So it is estimated that 25% of the ingredient in medicines today come from the rainforest. So now, rainforests impact the temperatures and weather pattern throughout the world. Now, in the last class I gave you a question, so the answer to that question is C. And please check this out. This is another question for you people. Answer in the comment box. And guys, if you want to take Unacademy Plus subscription, please use code STUDYIS. And for any further query, you can contact us on Telegram, Insta, Facebook, and you can even mail us. Thank you guys, and we're gonna meet in the next class.